Hi, my name is Dara, and I am an American who lives in Texas part of the year and here in Cheltenham in Gloucestershire, England, part of the year as well. And what happens is every year when we come back to our flat in Cheltenham at the beginning of the summer, end of spring, we come to a kitchen that's empty because we have been renting it out to tenants while we're gone. So when we get here, the cupboard is bare and we need to do a lot of grocery shopping. Now, I've done grocery shopping comparison videos in the past where I've compared shopping in the US and the UK. The products are different, the prices are different, all of that. And it's very time consuming to do those videos. So I have kind of sworn off doing those videos. But today we went and just bought loads of food to fill up our kitchen at ALDI. And when we left, we checked out and Ian said, wow, that didn't cost that much. We had a cart that was overflowing. We couldn't fit everything we bought in the shopping trolley. Ian also had a big heavy bag in addition to that we were lugging out to the car. So it was a lot of stuff. You know, we've had a lot of inflation in the US in the past years. And in fact, in the recent months, it seems like it's gotten even more expensive. If I just run out to the store to pick up a loaf of bread and a dozen eggs and a gallon of milk, it's $100. I'm exaggerating, but it seems like even just the smallest little fill-in shop is $100. And so when we bought this massive amount of stuff at ALDI today here in Gloucestershire, and it was less than 125 pounds, I thought, wow, not only are food prices probably better here in the UK, but ALDI is dang cheap. So this video is going to be my grocery haul of what I bought at ALDI and how much it cost. I'm not going to compare every item to what it would be in the US at ALDI or another grocery store / supermarket because honestly, I don't have time for that. I have so much to do because we just got here. But I will pick out a few items that I thought were just outrageously reasonably priced and do a little comparison on those. So let's look at what I bought and what it cost. One thing I hate about food shopping videos is everyone's always so critical about what I buy. And since I was not planning on filming a video, this is a very spur of the moment decision. I did not buy these things with the intention of being critiqued. So, oh well. We are stocking up our flat for us and visitors to come visiting. So I've stocked up on loo roll or toilet paper and a big pack of 9 rolls. The softest, they had soft, softer, and softest. $2.99, so £3 for 9 rolls, which I think is really a good deal. Kitchen roll or paper towels. I got 2 packs with 2 rolls each, $1.49. And I almost didn't buy this because it was such a huge box, but honestly, we go through this and we're gonna be having guests, so I think we'll make our way through this in 3 months. 4 pounds, $3.99 for this giant box of Kellogg's Crunchy Nut cornflakes. Have you guys had these? I think they're really delicious. This is like my dessert. 720 gram box. When we live in Texas, I grind my own wheat and make my own whole wheat bread. But when I'm here, I don't have the stuff to do that. So we buy our bread at the supermarket. And we usually try to get a wholemeal bread that has seeds in it. This loaf of bread, which is called wholemeal seeded loaf, is 800 grams and it cost a mere £1.09. Bread is hard to compare. First of all, in the US, seeded breads are not nearly as common as they are in Britain. But looking at what we could get at Kroger, the least expensive whole grain bread with seeds, which is organic, so that's a little bit different, but it's the store brand, it's $4.49 for a loaf. Comparing that per weight with the currency conversion, it's like 3 times more expensive to buy similar bread in the US. Also in the bread category, where we live in North Texas, we see a lot of non-bread in our supermarkets, and I buy it all the time because we love to make pizzas on it. But I have never seen any this big. This is gigantic. It's like way bigger than my head. And I got a pretty big head. 2 giant garlic and coriander naans. So it's got like yummy garlic stuff and spices on it. These will make delicious flatbread pizzas. And these 2, it doesn't actually say how much this weighs, but it's 2 of these massive naan. $1.49. That is a great deal. Beans, 45p for my can of cannellini beans and chickpeas. I mean, if you're on a tight food budget and you want to eat something with good protein and fiber, you can't beat beans. And this jar of black olives was 329 grams, only 89p. Okay, this is something I definitely have to compare to prices back in the States. Balsamic vinegar. I go through a lot of this because I make a chicken marinade that uses a fair amount of it. Balsamic vinegar of Modena. I don't know how to pronounce this place in Italy. I should have learned that because last week I actually took a train through this place. But yeah, it's legit from Italy, and 500 milliliters, $1.49 for this whole bottle. That's awesome. This balsamic vinegar of Modena comparison was really interesting. Hands down, the ALDI UK vinegar is by far the cheapest. I checked Tesco after I did my Aldi shop, and their store brand balsamic vinegar was more than twice as expensive. The American Aldi price is definitely lower than what you get at a national supermarket like Kroger. 9 British pounds sterling per liter. And that is not the store brand. The store brand was actually more expensive. So I chose the least expensive comparable balsamic vinegar to compare. Just crazy. Also in the condiment category, we have some whole grain mustard. This also goes in my chicken marinade. 200 grams in this glass jar, 49p. More condiments and sauces. We have tomato ketchup, or as we call it in the US, just ketchup. This is 500 mils, 89p. Ian could probably consume this whole bottle in 2 fish and chips dinners. And then I love sweet chili sauce on grilled halloumi. And so I bought a bottle of this. I love that it's in a glass bottle. 300 grams, $1.89, and totally worth it, because if you go to a restaurant and get halloumi with sweet chili sauce, it's gonna cost a whole lot more than just making it at home, and it's so easy. Got some of this spray olive oil for our roasted vegetables, and it's 190 mils for $1.29. And then I'm trying to learn to like kimchi because I know it's really good for gut health, fermented foods, but it's probably too spicy for me, but I'm gonna try and be brave. Ian likes it. It's 300 grams in this jar, and it is $2.69. I needed to stock up on some spices I use all the time. The roasted vegetables that we make, we put olive oil on it and garlic salt, so I go through tons of garlic salt. 79p for this nice glass jar. We do have cheap spices in the US. They're for like 99 cents you can get some cheap spices, but they're always in plastic, which I hate. So I love that this is glass jars and only 79p. This is the Italian style mixed herbs or herbs, and 69p. I use this in my chicken marinade too. Another great protein source, easy to prepare for quick lunches, sardines. High in protein and calcium and omega-3s. Each one of these little tins, 120 grams, 49p. And this massive bag of granola, which is a kilo of granola, $1.99. I cannot believe that. And it's raisin and almond. It even has almonds in it. I can't believe it's that cheap. I had a feeling that was a screaming good deal when I bought that granola at Aldi, and comparing it to what I would normally buy at Kroger, this is the cheapest store brand granola that you can get at Kroger that has almonds in it, and it is $3.49 for less than 400 grams. So when you compare that on a British pound per kilo basis, Aldi is 2 pounds and Kroger is more than 6 pounds
for the same amount of granola.
And then we have some chocolate chips. Milk chocolate chips only. And we had to buy a few of these because a certain person who will remain nameless cannot eat porridge unless it has chocolate chips in it. Milk chocolate chips, it's a necessity. And that person eats porridge 3 times a week. So I bought not 1, not 2, 6 bags of milk chocolate chips. $1.19 feels like a little bit more than I was paying last year, but I'm not sure I remember correctly. And I was also buying it at Tesco.
I think I used to get these chocolate chips for 99p a bag in Tesco a few years ago. So the price has gone up in Tesco. It's $1.50 now. And Aldi is still a much better deal at $1.19 for the same size bag.
Stocking up on some vitamins for the 3 months we're here. Got some omega-3 fish oil capsules, 90 capsules, $2.99. That seems like a good deal. And then vitamin D. I got 2 bottles of this. So each one's 90 tablets, $1.79. And this Total Care mouthwash, you know, the purple stuff that's supposed to do all the things. Fluoride for your enamel, yada, yada, yada. 500 mils for 89p. That also seems like a really good price. Eggs. Eggs are always a controversial topic. We got these British free-range eggs. So this is 12 eggs, a dozen eggs for $2.89. And they are large eggs from hens which are free to roam in the fields of our British farms. So we tried to buy eggs that are better animal welfare, and that's a really good price.
Let's compare those eggs to what we normally buy at Kroger. First of all, free range is not very common. Most of the eggs, and including definitely the store brand eggs, are always cage free, which is not the same as free range. So these are the cheapest free range eggs we can get at Kroger, $5.99 for a dozen. And as you can see, when you convert that to British pounds, those Aldi free range eggs were a great deal.
Now for the parade of healthy vegetables and fruits, because I know tomato is a fruit. We've got some picolato tomatoes or tomatoes. These are, you know, the fancy little tomatoes that we love to roast. This is 400 grams and $2.69.
Some British people might complain that I bought the fancy, expensive kind of tomatoes at Aldi. And yes, at the British Aldi, there were cheaper types of tomatoes. But when you compare what we pay for similar type tomatoes at Kroger in Texas, you'll see why they still seemed incredibly cheap to me, because they're twice as expensive back in Texas.
And then British baby button mushrooms. 200 grams for 95p. Avocados. These are like the one item in the produce section that we actually get better avocados in Texas than we do in Britain. Most of the other produce definitely is superior in Britain, but we live in Texas and all the best avocados come from Mexico, which is nearby. So we get really good avocados for pretty good prices. These were a little bit pricey, $1.39 each. Red peppers. These, if they're on sale in the States, will be $1.49, but these were 70p each. And I got 3 of them. And then because bananas are in our chocolate protein shakes that one of us has 6 days a week, we go through a lot of bananas. We chop them up and freeze them. So at Aldi, each banana was 16 cents rather than by weight, which I thought was interesting. Got 8 bananas or bananas. Carrots are always cheap, and these were a half kilo for 44p. Also got some baby leaf salad mix, which it's got all kinds of good stuff. Baby spinach, red chard, baby green lettuce, and baby red leaves. Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't say what kind of leaves, just leaves. I guess that's a little sus, but looks good, so I'm gonna eat it. Anyway, we got 2 bags of this. It is 90 grams each, 65p. And one more vegetable thing. This is asparagus tips, kind of a small package. It's only 100 grams, but 99p. And then we got some basic stuff. Got to stock up on butter for my popcorn addiction. $1.99 for each of these 250 gram cubes of butter. Now let's talk about cheese. You know, I had to get me some double Gloucester. Every time I come back to Gloucestershire, I have to get the double Gloucester. And £1.85, £1.85 for this package, 250 grams. And then for that chili sauce, gotta have my halloumi to grill up. I love this stuff because I don't really see it very often in the US, and when I do, it's super expensive. 225 gram block of it for $1.99. And I spent the last month with Ian in Italy, so we had to get us some good cheeses. We got some Parmigiano Reggiano, 30-month aged, and it is 170 grams, £3.19. And then we got 2 bags of mozzarella, fresh mozzarella, 200 grams each for only 99p. And this will be delicious on our flatbread pizzas. More cheese. Cottage cheese, high in protein, 28 grams of protein, I think, in this container. This is 200 grams and it only cost $1.09. Another great protein source, Greek yogurt. I did splurge a little bit. They had several kinds of Greek yogurt and I got this authentic Greek yogurt. So I think this is the thicker strained stuff rather than the other stuff they had, which was probably a little runnier. 500 grams and it was $1.99. Then one little convenience food for when I don't feel like cooking from scratch. I got this tomato and basil soup, aka tomato and basil soup. This will be delicious with a grilled cheese sandwich, aka toasted cheese toasty. This carton of ready-to-eat soup, just heat and eat, is 600 grams and costs $1.49. And then up there with kimchi, one of those fermented foods that you're supposed to consume for gut health is kefir. So we get this plain, unflavored kefir, and it's fantastic for making fruit smoothies. I have never bought it from ALDI before, so I know about how much it costs at Tesco, and this was definitely a good price. So I stocked up and bought 3. Each one of these 750 grams, and it costs $2.09. And then the last refrigerated items, the pricey stuff. We did get some meat, and I didn't just buy carrots and canned beans. We got 4 salmon fillets, £6.85 for 480 grams. And then chicken breast fillets, £6.49 for 1 kilo. And now to finish off the shopping haul, the frozen food items, which I just ran to the freezer to get. Had to get some frozen fruit for those kefir fruit smoothies. This is frozen blueberries I have here. 400 gram bag of blueberries, and they're $1.99. Got 2 bags of those. I got 1 bag of mango chunks, 500 grams, only $1.79. And then 2 bags of pineapple chunks, 450 grams, also $1.79. These will be delicious in those smoothies. And then to round out the list of 80 items that we bought at ALDI, this is the craziest. We love dark sweet cherries. Frozen dark sweet cherries are an essential part of those homemade chocolate protein shakes that I make every morning. And they're hard to find. We can't find them in all stores. Lidl stopped carrying them, and I went to 3 stores yesterday and finally found them at Tesco. These are the Tesco dark sweet cherries. 350 grams at Tesco was £3.20. But at ALDI, I was able to get 500 grams for $1.79. When Ian found that out, he lost his dang mind and he bought 9 bags of these dark sweet cherries. I was embarrassed. I kept begging him to stop putting them in our trolley. I feel sorry. If you live in Cheltenham and tried to buy dark sweet cherries at Aldi and there were none left, I'm sorry, it's our fault.
We were being greedy, but those dark sweet cherries really were an amazing deal. And when you compare it with what we pay at our local supermarket in Texas, doing all the conversions for weight and currency, over 8 pounds per kilo for the dark sweet cherries in Texas, and even at Tesco here locally, it's $6.67.
So that's our Aldi grocery haul. Let me know how those prices compared to where you live or where you shop, whether you live in Britain, the US, or somewhere else. And if you really want to see a crazy shopping comparison video, watch this video I did comparing British and American convenience stores or corner shops to see what they have. Thanks so much for watching this video, and do something good in the world today.